Let's see if we can take this. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today I'm going to be reviewing the SeaTouch 4 Max by DIVEVOLK. So the lovely people over at DIVEVOLK were nice enough to send me their housing for my iPhone 14 Pro Max for me to test out here on some dives in the Maldives. They also sent me a dome port and a macro lens as well to try out. Now, the new iPhones have incredible capability to shoot not only raw images, but to film in Apple ProRes resolution, which is going to be amazing. So I'm going to take my phone down in the housing for a few dives here, as well as on some free diving spots as well, just to see if we can use all the capabilities of the iPhone and how user-friendly the housing is. I'm not going to go into too much detail on how to fit your phone into the housing. They've got really good videos on this on their YouTube channel, which I'll link in the description below, but it's pretty straightforward. Now, there's nothing left to do but to get in the water. So as you can see, I've put it through its paces here in the Maldives, and I have to say that I am pleasantly surprised. I wasn't really expecting too much from a phone housing, but I have to say that it's proved more useful than I thought. The build of the housing is pretty robust, and all these plastic parts and metal parts are actually very strong and can take a bit of a beating. When I was doing the tiger shark dive, it was getting pushed up against the rocks quite a lot in the surge, and there's not really a scratch on it. You obviously want to protect this part of it, as well as the touchscreen side of it, which is the most sensitive part, but the rest of it is built incredibly well. As far as usability, it's really good, but the one thing that I have noticed is that it doesn't have a button on the side for the lock button on an iPhone. Now, this, along with the fact that, from my experience, the Face ID doesn't work, means that you have to put your password in every time to unlock it. To override this, pretty much what I did was, before I'd get in the water every time, I just set my phone in the settings to not lock during the dive. It doesn't really affect the battery too much as long as you've got one of the newer phones, and then you can just undo the setting when you're back on land. For the most part, the touch gel surface here is really good. It does take a little bit of practice to get used to it, but once you get the hang of it, it's really good, and it gives you full usability of all the touch functions of the iPhone. Now, the biggest thing with using an iPhone in one of these housing is that you cannot use the iPhone native camera because it's terrible. Instead, what I'd recommend is using a third-party app. The one I use is called Moment, and it gives you full control over all the settings of your iPhone, similarly to on a mirrorless camera or DSLR camera. From white balance to f-stop, you can control everything. I use this app called Moment, and on that you can use both video and picture functions, and you can set presets as well. So you can set the white balance to what you think would be underwater, the same way that I do on my mirrorless, and you can just go with that. So as soon as you jump in the water, you're set with the white balance. Another app that I found that was quite cool was this app that lets you use both front camera and back camera at the same time. This means it can get your reaction whilst you're filming, and this is pretty cool. I used it when doing the tiger shark diving here in the south of the Maldives, and it's pretty cool just to see what you're doing on the other side of the camera as all this craziness is happening around you. And so it's a nice little novel app to have as well. One slight issue that I was having at the start, and I couldn't figure out why, was that my phone was getting stuck on the inside when I was trying to push it out. When you put your phone into it, you put it into this protective case on the inside, which makes it aligned into the inside of the housing and so that it doesn't move. But it was getting stuck to the gel on the inside of the case. Now, I figured out it's because of my screen shield. I think I had maybe a thicker screen shield or something like that, and the screen shield was getting stuck to the gel and causing a vacuum. I was initially loosening it by just sliding a piece of paper in there and loosening the gel from the screen shield, but I ended up cracking my screen shield on land anyway, so I just took the screen shield off, and once I'd taken the screen shield off, it was sliding in and out of the housing perfectly fine. All in all, I think it's a very good housing. Is it going to replace my mirrorless for professional jobs? No, but that's more to do with the iPhone's capability and lack of megapixels as it is to the housing. I definitely recommend it for beginners that are trying to get in and don't want to spend so much on a new camera. This is a good entry level into underwater photography and videography. The fact that in all the new iPhones you can shoot raw images and ProRes footage means that you have so much capability in post to edit. So having a housing like this means that you can get in the water pretty quickly and it doesn't take up a lot of space. This is perfect for those trips when you've only got hand luggage or you don't have a lot of baggage space as well. Just throw this in there, put your phone in, and you can go straight in the water. Thank you to DIVEVOLK for sending me out this housing and the accessories. I've had a lot of fun testing it out here in the Maldives, and I'll definitely be taking it on trips with me in the future. Drop the video a thumbs up if you found it useful, and if you've got any questions, leave them in the comments and I'll get back to you. If you're already using this housing, let me know what your experiences are with it as well. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.